Redefining love, the infinite frequency of human connection. Welcome to a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about love, relationships, and human potential. Today, we're delving into the revolutionary insights of Keke Kelis, a visionary thinker whose ideas are not just reshaping our understanding of connections, but transforming lives and potentially our entire society. Keke's perspective isn't just thought-provoking, it's a clarion call for a paradigm shift in how we approach love, intimacy, and personal growth. Imagine for a moment that the bedrock of your beliefs about love and relationships is built on sand. What if the traditional concept of monogamous heterosexual marriage as the pinnacle of romantic achievement is not just limiting, but actively hindering our capacity for fulfillment and genuine connection? This is the audacious premise that Keke Kelis presents, and it's one that demands our attention. Keke challenges us to consider a radical notion that humans are inherently capable of loving multiple people simultaneously, and that love itself is not a finite resource to be jealously guarded, but an infinite frequency to be shared freely and abundantly. This idea flies in the face of centuries of social conditioning, religious doctrine, and cultural expectations. It's disruptive, it's controversial, and for many, it might even be deeply unsettling. But that's precisely why we need to confront it head on. Let's be clear, this isn't about promoting infidelity or disregarding commitment. It's about reimagining what commitment and love can look like in a world where we acknowledge the full spectrum of human emotion and connection. It's about expanding our capacity for love beyond the confines of traditional relationship structures and embracing the possibility of a more fulfilling, authentic way of connecting with others. Consider the story of Maria and James, a couple who had been married for 15 years. They loved each other deeply, but both felt a persistent sense of unfulfillment, a nagging feeling that something was missing. Through open and honest communication, they discovered that they both had unexplored aspects of their sexuality and desires for connection that didn't fit neatly into their monogamous relationship. Instead of ignoring these feelings or ending their marriage, they chose to explore ethical non-monogamy. The journey wasn't easy. They faced jealousy, insecurity, and judgment from friends and family. But as they navigated these challenges together, something remarkable happened. Their relationship deepened. They found themselves communicating more openly than ever before, not just about their other relationships, but about every aspect of their lives. Maria discovered a passion for rock climbing through a new partner, which brought a renewed sense of adventure to her life. James found emotional support and intellectual stimulation in a relationship with a male colleague, allowing him to explore aspects of his bisexuality that he had long suppressed. Far from diminishing their love for each other, these experiences enhanced it. They brought new energy, new perspectives, and new depths of understanding to their primary relationship. This story challenges our assumptions about what makes a relationship strong. It forces us to question whether exclusivity is truly the hallmark of commitment, or if commitment can be demonstrated through honesty, support, and a shared journey of growth and self-discovery. But let's zoom out for a moment. Why does this matter on a societal level? Why should we care about challenging the status quo of relationships? The answer lies in the ripple effects of this paradigm shift. When we expand our capacity for love, when we challenge the notion that there's only one right way to form relationships, we open up a world of possibilities, not just for ourselves, but for society as a whole. Think about the countless individuals who stay in unfulfilling relationships because they believe it's their only option. Consider the people who suppress essential parts of their identity or desires because they don't fit into the traditional relationship model. Reflect on the potential for connection, growth, and happiness that is lost because we're operating under a limited understanding of what love and relationships can be. By embracing a more expansive view of love, we create space for people to be their authentic selves. We allow for a diversity of relationship structures that can better meet the needs of individuals. We foster a society that values emotional intelligence, communication, and personal growth. Take the example of Alex, a non-binary individual who always felt out of place in traditional relationships. They struggled with the expectation to conform to gender roles and the assumption that they should be seeking a single, lifelong partner. When Alex discovered the concept of relationship anarchy, the idea that love is not a limited resource and that all types of relationships, romantic, platonic, familial, are equally valuable. It was like a light bulb moment. Alex began to build a network of loving relationships that defied easy categorization. They had a romantic partner they lived with, a long-distance emotional connection with someone they saw a few times a year, and several close friendships that involved physical intimacy. Each relationship was unique. Each brought something different to Alex's life, and each was based on open communication and mutual respect rather than societal expectations. This way of living allowed Alex to fully embrace all aspects of their identity. They no longer felt pressured to fit into a predefined box. Instead, they were free to explore connections with people of all genders, to define their relationships on their own terms, and to prioritize personal growth and authenticity over conformity. Alex's story illustrates the liberating potential of challenging our preconceptions about love and relationships. It shows us that when we break free from restrictive norms, we create space for individuals to thrive in ways that may have been previously unimaginable. But make no mistake, this isn't about throwing all rules out the window. It's not about chaos or hedonism. It's about intentionality, honesty, and ethical non-monogamy. It's about creating relationships based on trust, open communication, and mutual respect, rather than societal expectations or fear of being alone. Keke's vision challenges us to examine our own beliefs and biases. It asks us to question where our ideas about love and relationships come from and whether they truly serve us. Are we holding on to outdated notions out of habit, fear, or societal pressure? Or are we open to exploring new possibilities that could lead to greater fulfillment and authenticity? Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, this all sounds well and good, but it's not for me. And that's okay. The beauty of Keke's perspective is that it's not prescriptive. It's not about saying everyone should practice non-monogamy or polyamory. It's about recognizing that these are valid options and that individuals should have the freedom to choose the relationship structure that works best for them without judgment or stigma. But even if you're committed to monogamy, there's immense value in considering these ideas. Because at its core, this is about more than just relationship structures. It's about expanding our capacity for love, empathy, and connection in all areas of our lives. Imagine a world where we approach all our relationships, romantic, platonic, familial, with the mindset that love is abundant. A world where we don't view other people's success or happiness as a threat to our own. A world where we celebrate the diverse ways people connect and form families, rather than trying to force everyone into the same mold. This shift in perspective has the potential to transform not just our personal lives, but our communities and society as a whole. It could lead to more inclusive policies, more supportive social structures, and a culture that values emotional well-being and authentic connections above adherence to outdated norms. Consider the story of the Thompson family. Sarah and Michael had been married for 20 years and had 2 teenage children when they decided to open their relationship. At first, their kids were confused and worried. But as they saw their parents navigate this new territory with honesty, respect, and increased happiness, something unexpected happened. Their daughter, Emily, who had been struggling with anxiety and self-esteem issues, began to open up more. Seeing her parents embrace vulnerability and personal growth inspired her to do the same. She started therapy and began to explore her own identity and desires more openly. Their son, Jake, who had always been uncomfortable with traditional expressions of masculinity, found new role models in his parents' partners. He saw men who were emotionally expressive, who prioritized communication and consent, and who weren't afraid to challenge gender norms. The Thompson family's journey wasn't without challenges, but it led to a household with more open communication, greater emotional intelligence, and a deeper appreciation for individual autonomy. This ripple effect extended to their extended family and friend group, challenging preconceptions and opening up conversations about love, relationships, and personal growth that had previously been taboo. This story illustrates how embracing a more expansive view of love can have far-reaching effects, not just on individuals, but on families and communities. It shows us that when we create space for authenticity and diverse expressions of love, we create opportunities for growth and healing that extend far beyond our immediate relationships. But let's be real, this isn't an easy shift to make. It requires us to confront our own insecurities, to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs, and to have difficult conversations with our partners, families, and communities. It requires vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to grow. And that's where you come in. As you listen to this, I challenge you to examine your own beliefs about love and relationships. Where do these beliefs come from? How do they serve you? How might they be limiting you? I'm not asking you to change your entire lifestyle or belief system overnight, but I am asking you to open your mind to new possibilities, to consider that there might be more than one way to love, to connect, to form meaningful relationships. Try this. The next time you feel a twinge of jealousy, instead of reacting, pause and ask yourself where that feeling is coming from. Is it really about the other person, or is it about your own fears and insecurities? How might your relationship change if you approach that feeling with curiosity rather than fear? Or consider your friendships. Do you ever hold back from forming close bonds with others because you're worried about taking away from your romantic relationship? What if you allowed yourself to fully embrace those connections, trusting that love is abundant enough for all? These are just starting points. The real work begins when we start having these conversations with our partners, friends, and communities. When we create spaces where people can explore different relationship models without fear of judgment. When we advocate for policies and social structures that recognize and support diverse family structures. As we approach the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a call to action, a challenge to not just passively consider these ideas, but to actively engage with them in your daily life. First, commit to having one honest conversation about love and relationships in the next week. This could be with a partner, a friend, or even with yourself through journaling. Explore your beliefs, your fears, your desires. Be radically honest about what you truly want from your relationships, not what you think you should want. Second, educate yourself. Read books on ethical non-monogamy, attend workshops on communication and consent, listen to podcasts about diverse relationship structures. Even if you don't plan to practice these relationship styles, understanding them can deepen your empathy and broaden your perspective. Third, challenge relationship norms in your community. This could be as simple as speaking up when someone makes a judgmental comment about a non-traditional relationship, or as bold as organizing a discussion group to explore these topics. Fourth, practice abundance in all your relationships. Celebrate your friends' achievements without feeling threatened. Support your partner's growth even when it doesn't directly involve you. Approach all your connections with the mindset that there is enough love to go around. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, commit to your own personal growth. Work on your communication skills. Confront your insecurities. Learn to sit with discomfort. Because ultimately, expanding our capacity for love starts with loving ourselves more fully and authentically. Remember, love in its purest form is not about possession or exclusivity. It's about connection, growth, and the celebration of human potential. By expanding our understanding of love and relationships, we're not just changing our personal lives, we're contributing to a more compassionate, understanding, and inclusive world. The question now is, are you ready to tune into this infinite frequency of love? Are you willing to challenge your assumptions, explore new possibilities, and approach yourself and others with an abundance of love and empathy? The journey won't be easy. It will require courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to grow. But the potential rewards, deeper connections, greater authenticity, and a more fulfilling life are immeasurable. So I challenge you. Take what you've heard today and use it as a catalyst for change. Question your assumptions. Explore new possibilities. And above all, approach yourself and others with an abundance of love and empathy. Because love is not a finite resource to be guarded jealously. It's an infinite frequency, capable of expanding and enriching our lives in ways we might never have imagined. The only question is, are you ready to amplify that frequency in your own life and in the world around you? The choice is yours. The time is now. Let's redefine love together. Thank you.